Hello student, I am Assistant Professor Yeshwant Bhara from LJ School of Law, and today we'll be discussing the further provisions of Section 32. The two provisions have been discussed by me in a previous lecture. You must have heard about it, the dying declaration and the business, like the statement which are made by the person during the course of business. And now we'll be dealing with the other circumstances, or you can say the other cases. Now, as I said, we had discussed the two provisions of Section 32. Now we'll be studying section other provisions of Section 32. So the first is statement against the statement of the maker. When the statement is against the pecuniary or proprietary interest of the person making it, or when if true it would expose him, it would have exposed him to a criminal prosecution, to a suit or a damages, will be the relevant statement. Now in case if the statement made by the person uh, before the trial, in that case the statement made by the person against his pecuniary or proprietary interest, like against his monetary limit or his proprietary limit, okay, in that case, and if that statement is true, and he knows that that particular statement uh, will expose him for to some criminal liability or to some criminal prosecution and suit, then all those statement will be termed as a relevant statement under section 32 subclause 3. Okay, now the next is statement gives opinion. Statement which gives opinion as to the public right or custom or matter of general interest. When a statement gives an opinion regarding to the public right of, when the statement is given by a person regarding to the existence of any public right or a custom or matter of public or general interest, then that particular custom or public right existed or exist, then in that case all the statements will be considered as relevant under section 32 subclause 4. Now what kind of statement these are? Suppose there is a custom in a family, okay, or custom in a clan or a caste, that the person is that suppose there is a custom of some kind of stridhan, okay, I'll take a stridhan, that they are allowed to take stridhan and it is their a custom. Now in that case, if the person who is seeing this custom and who knows that this custom is going on, and if he comes and if he gives the statement that yes, this particular custom exists in our clan or in our uh, caste, or you can say in our tradition, then in that case all those statements which is given by him regarding to that existence of that custom will be termed as a relevant statement. Now again, these statements must be made before the controversy related to the custom. Okay, it should not be made after or during the controversy. It should be made by the person before the controversy related to that particular custom. If it is made during or after the controversy has happened, then in that case that particular statement will not be termed as a relevant statement under section 32 subclause 4. Now moving further, you'll see statement relates to existence of relationship. Now when these statements are relevant, see, uh, the statement which relates the existence of relationship by blood, by marriage or by adoption between the person as to whose relationship the person making the statement had special means of knowledge, and when the statement was made before the question, the dispute was raised. Now all those statement which is made by the person uh, in uh, in concern with the existence of a relationship, okay, like yes, he is my son, or yes, I have adopted this particular child, or yes, we have done the marriage, okay, then in that case the statement will be the relevant, again provided that the statement must be made before the question before the dispute has raised. If it is again made after the dispute has raised, then in that case that statement will not be termed as relevant under section 32 subclause 5. Okay, now moving further, the statement is made in will or deed relating to the family affairs. Now, if there is any statement made by the person regarding to the existence of any relationship between the person who is dead, as we all know that will is the document which has been read uh, by the by the advocate, you can say, and by the concerned person after the death of the deceased. Okay, so if any statement which relates to the existence of any relationship, okay, between the person who is deceased and is made in any will, like suppose the statement like my this property, my house A, which is situated in that particular place, will be like I'm giving this house to the A who is my adopted son. Okay, now in that case, if that particular statement is made in a will or made in a deed, okay, and it is related to the family affairs, okay, then in that case that statement will be termed as a relevant statement. But again, the proviso is that its statement should be made before the question or before the dispute is arise. So as we all know, will is made before the, like when the person is alive, and it has been read after the death of the person. Okay, so in the will or in the deed, if the person has talked about any relationship or any existence of relationship, then in that case all these statements of the person will be relevant under section 32 subclause 6 of the Indian Evidence Act. Now moving further, you will see the document relating to transaction mentioned under section 13 subclause A. Now what is section 13 subclause A? What are the documents which are mentioned under section 13 subclause A? So now, as we read earlier in our previous lectures, we have discussed about section 13. It talks about the relevant customs or a right of the person. Okay, and 13 subclause A says that any transaction by which the right or custom of question was created, modified, recognized, asserted, or denied, or which was inconsistent with its existence, then all this statement which is made in any deed, will, or any other documents relate to any transaction, okay, then in that case all this statement will be termed as relevant statement under section 32 subclause 7 of this particular act. Now moving further, the statement made by several persons and expresses feelings relevant to matter in question. Now, in case if the statement was made by the number of persons and express feeling or impression on their part are relevant and make the question. Now, what kind of statement it can be? It can be any statement which expresses the feeling of the person or the impression related to the person or related to the property or related to some question of like a fact in issue. Okay, then all the statement will be termed as the relevant relevant statements under section 32 subclause 8 of the Indian Evidence Act. Now this section has been 32 has been done, and we'll again revise the section. Okay, so 32 subclause 1 talks about the dying declaration, 32 subclause 2 talks about the statement which is made by the person during the ordinary course of business. Okay, it is made by the person during the ordinary course of business. Section 32 subclause 3, it talks about when the statement is made by the person which is against his interest, against his pecuniary or the proprietary interest, and which again uh, if it is exposed, then it will like the person will have to face the criminal liability or the criminal charges against them, against him. Then in all the statement which is made by the person will be relevant under section 32 subclause 3. Now moving further, section 32 subclause 4, it talks about the statement about the opinion as to any public right or custom. Again, you have to take care, like you have to take care of the provision which we have dealt in this section, that all the statement which has been said by the person regarding to the existence of any public right or existence of any custom before the dispute or the controversy has arise or controversy has taken place, okay, then in that case all those statement will be termed as a relevant statement under section 32 subclause 4. Now again section 32 subclause 5 talks about the statement as to existence of any relationship. So any statement which relates to the existence of any relationship by blood or by adoption or by marriage is being said by the person before the dispute or the real dispute has aroused, dispute has arisen, then in that case all those statement will be termed as the relevant statement under section 32 subclause 5. Section 32 subclause 3 talks 6 talks about statement in will or deed relating to the family affairs. Now all the statement which is been mentioned under which relates to the existence of any relationship and which is mentioned under any deed or will of a deceased person, then in that case all this statement will be termed as a relevant statement, and all this statement regarding to the relationship of the person will be termed as a relevant, provided that again it should be said before the dispute or the controversy has arise. Now moving to section 32 subclause 7, it talks about the section 32 subclause 7, it talks about the statement made in a document relating to any transaction, okay. So if any statement is made relating to any transaction in the document before the controversy or before the dispute arise, then the person, then this statement will be relevant under section 32 subclause 3 of the act. Now moving further, section 32 subclause 8, it talks about the statement made by several persons and expresses feeling relevant to matter in question, then in that case all this statement will be termed as a relevant statement under section 32 subclause 8, okay. So I hope that you all of you have got an idea of section 32, and I believe that you are studying again, like you are going through bare act also, and you are checking the sections. If in case you have any doubt, you can ask me anytime. You can write down in the comment box, okay, and your doubt will be resolved. So I'll rest my lecture here and see you in the next lecture. Till then, take care of yourself and thank you.